Hi, it's the Irish Gypsy here to give you your February 2016 mid-month reading. I continue to use the Gilded Tarot deck, drawing 8 cards for the month, 2 cards for each week with an additional card as your overall theme and general feeling of the month. These are general readings, so if they don't apply or resonate the same with everyone who watches, I suggest you also check your rising and your moon sign as well. A special thank you to those of you who continue to keep me so busy with personal readings. It is such an honor and a pleasure to read for you. Thank you for continuing to reach out for those. And thank you to those of you who watch and listen and subscribe to my channel. Your feedback and your comments are so positive and so welcome, both on the channel and through email. Keep them coming. I love them so much. Thank you. And if any of you are interested in personal readings, you can click on the About sign on my channel's homepage, and that will give you a little more information and detail on myself, the services I offer, and my contact information. And you can email me at maggie1maguire@gmail.com. In honor of Valentine's Day, I am running a few different specials on love readings this month. So email me if you're interested in those, and we'll go from there. So let's get right into this. This reading is for Gemini for February 2016 mid-month. Gemini, February 2016 mid-month. What does the remainder of February hold for the twins? Gemini, February mid-month. Gemini, February 2016 mid-month. Okay. We begin with the Judgment card, followed by the Magician. 2 major arcana already. The King of Cups, followed by the 7 of Cups, the 8 of Pentacles, followed by the Lovers, and the Devil reversed, followed by the 2 of Wands. And the card that represents your general theme and overall feeling from the bottom of the deck, we have 10 of Pentacles. I don't know what it is with the majority of the signs this month, but it seems like the remainder of February is pretty profound and significant for the majority of you. So let's take a look, Gemini. Interesting. So let's begin. We start with the Judgment card, a major arcana card, Fingers of the Divine as I like to call them. And the Judgment card is a call to action, and a fairly serious one as well. Not in a negative way, don't get scared. The Judgment card is a call to action. You can see, I always consider it one of the more major angels who's blowing his holy horn, calling people to action, calling them to answer for themselves, a day of accountability, a day of reckoning, so to speak. And the Judgment card speaks to a situation or a relationship, because I think for some of you, and this is going to resonate differently depending on which Geminis are watching, I think some of you this is going to resonate as a relationship reading, and for others of you it could represent a job or some other kind of major decision. But the Judgment card speaks of being in a decision-making phase, or you are being at some point in your life, in this relationship, in a job, something else that you may be dealing with right now that feels very significant and profound. The Judgment card is pointing to this being kind of a make or break deal, that the decisions and actions and choices that you make regarding whatever this thing is, Gemini, for the last half of February 2016 is really going to set the stage for you for some time to come. And there's always an element of your personal honor and integrity when it's associated with the Judgment card. For instance, if you were facing a decision you had to make, maybe it was a moral or ethical decision, and you were perhaps tempted to go one way versus the other, but we always know which way is the most right, the most honorable, the most moral, the most ethical decision to make. The Judgment card speaks of this decision really setting the stage for your character and for who you are as a human being for some time to come, if not, for the conceivable future of your life. The Judgment card speaks of being very careful and very thoughtful about whatever choices it is that you're thinking of making or whatever actions you're thinking of taking, because the consequences of them and the outcome of them will be significant and profound and very difficult to come back from, if not impossible to come back from. So the Judgment card has a pretty serious theme to it. It's about, doing what's right, maintaining your personal integrity, your personal honor in whatever this decision-making process is. Be very thoughtful. Consider everything. If there's other people involved in this, consider them as well, because the Judgment card speaks of it really setting the stage for some time of the consequences and effect being pretty profound. And yeah, just to put a lot of thought into whatever it is that you're doing. It feels like this is kind of a crossroads kind of, being at a crossroads kind of reading, and the Judgment card really, as it is a major arcana card, really underscores that pretty heavily. And you do have 4 major arcana cards, Gemini. Fully half of your spread is major arcana cards, which means that it's going to be a pretty significant and pretty profound month for you. And opening with the Judgment card means to carefully consider that what you're going to do is really going to have a pretty significant and profound effect. So think carefully, judge carefully, choose the path that you know to be honorable, and true to your own personal sense of integrity. So the Judgment card is accompanied by the Magician, another major arcana card, and it's just such a heavy message, Gemini. It just really, the Magician really speaks to this decision, this crossroads that you're at, being entirely and completely in your hands. The outcome, I'm surprised not to see the Justice card in here as well. The outcome is going to be entirely dependent on what you choose, what you do, what you say, which path you take. But the Magician card assures you that you have everything that you need with which to make this decision, with which to take this action. The one that I think deep and down inside you, you actually know which path is the right one for you to take in this. Again, whether this is a relationship, for some of you it's going to resonate as that, and for others it's going to be a job, or just, but it represents some kind of major decision, some kind of crossroads that you're at. The Magician assures you that you have the experience, you have the tools, you have the knowledge, you have the wisdom, the compassion, the clarity, and the insight needed. You also have the cleverness. The Magician is a very clever individual, someone who definitely marches to the tune of his own drum, through a long life, and through some pretty long roads, through trial and error, through some failures and triumphs, joys and sorrows. He's come to a place in his life where he has all the tools he needs to manifest his own destiny, to create the kind of outcome for whatever this thing is that he wants to do. He has the tools, he has the experience with which to use them, he knows how to apply the things that he knows. He has taken all his life experiences and formulated them to be at a place in his life where he draws on them for all his wisdom and knowledge and experience. So Gemini, whatever it is that you're facing in the last half of February 2016, and perhaps going into March as well a bit, the Judgment card speaks to the seriousness of it, and that it's really going to set the road for you for a while. But Magician assures you that you've got this, Gemini, you've got this under control, and you can handle this. So that is followed by the King of Cups, accompanied by the Seven of Cups. So the King of Cups. Cups, the element is that of water, and cups is a suit that typically points towards our emotions, our emotional landscape, both inner and outer, our emotional atmosphere, love, relationships, how we relate to the people around us, our interpersonal relationships, things like that. And the King of Cups, kings tend to be more mature, reflective individuals, and kings are individuals who typically have reached the mastery of their suit. And in this case, it would be the suit of the King of Cups, which is emotions. So the King of Cups would point towards an individual who is very in touch and grounded with his emotions, someone who's very loving, someone who's very nurturing, a really good guy. I mean, if you were being courted by the King of Cups, you couldn't find a better person to be courted by. This would be somebody who's very much into ideals and romance, and just somebody very emotionally in tune with himself, not somebody who's controlled by his emotions, but somebody who's able to tap them and access them in a wise and compassionate manner because he is a king. So for some of you Geminis, I mean, you are an air sign, and the King of Cups could represent a fire sign. Or, I'm sorry, a water sign, because it's cups, which would be Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a specific sign, just someone who manifests the qualities and the traits of the King of Cups. So this could be somebody either in your sphere currently, Gemini, or somebody coming into your sphere, and he's coming with, it feels to me like an offer of love. I think for the larger portion of you, this is going to resonate as a love relationship reading. Um, and because we do have the double reverse too at the end of the month, this may be somebody that you are already, for some of you, already involved in. Perhaps the relationship has had some struggles, or there's been some power and control issues, or maybe just a little too much neediness or some obsessive energy going on there. But because the King of Cups, is a very emotional person, and from time to time, particularly when he falls into the reverse, which he can sometimes, would be somebody who's allows his emotions to control them. So for some of you, this may represent somebody that you've been in a relationship with, or are currently in a relationship with, that has something that has some stressors that you've been working on. But for others of you, this is going to represent somebody coming in that you have to make a decision about. And I say that because he is accompanied by the Seven of Cups, which is a card I sometimes call the card of illusion and distraction, because it can be. Seven's also is a number representative of reflection and assessment, and kind of taking a step back and looking at things and trying to figure out which thing to go for, if what you put into something has been worth it, if it's paying back or not. The Seven of Cups can show a variety of choices. For some of you, you're going to maybe have more than one suitor, and this King of Cups maybe represents the one that you're most attracted to, or the one that's presenting the best love offer, so to speak. But as you can see in these seven goblets, there's something beautiful coming out of each one of them. How valid they are, and how grounded they are, and how much reality real potentials in each of them is unknown and unclear. The Seven of Cups represents kind of having a lot of decisions, or needing to make a decision, and kind of having just too many things kind of rolling around in your head. And as this is accompanied with the King of Cups, Gemini, I really feel like, again, this is going to resonate differently for different groups of Geminis who watch this video. And for some of you for whom this may represent a situation with job or career, or some other kind of opportunity, this could be represent an individual coming into your life and presenting you with a choice or an opportunity, or a variety of opportunities, and you need to make a decision about them. For others of you, this is simply going to mean making a decision about this individual, or what you want to do with this individual going forward. But it feels like there's a bit of fantasy and illusion attached to the Seven of Cups too. So just make sure that everything is as it seems, because perhaps not everything that is coming out of these cups that looks so beautiful is exactly what it appears to be. So just keep an eye out for that and be cautious about that. But generally they're both in the upright, and so it looks pretty good. Just that you have some decisions to make, and it's following, this combination of Judgment and the Magician, so it does attach a rather profound significance from it. It feels more than just something, something light, like somebody coming in and wanting to date you, or maybe this could represent for some of you taking this relationship to the next level. They may have, proposed marriage, or proposed moving in together, or for some of you, it could represent the joining of two families together, especially if you have children. But there's something about it directly following the Judgment and the Magician that says that there's a profound significance attached to these choices. So again, I keep going back to that Judgment card. Choose carefully. There's something about this that's really going to set the stage, almost in stone, for quite a long time to come. But that Magician assures that you have it within you to be able to make that choice. And I kind of want to show you these two side by side, the Magician and the Seven of Cups. There's a lot going on here. This card represents just having either too many decisions, or considering too many different ways that this decision-making process could play out. But the Magician would not spend a lot of time doing that. He would be very thoughtful and very mindful, and figure out which was the best thing for him, basically. I mean, the Magician can be a little self-oriented, but I think if you're making a decision that looks to be very profound, very life-changing or life-altering, you need to, figure out which is going to be the best path, the most true and honest path for you, the path which authenticates you the most. So pretty interesting so far, Gemini. So that's followed with the Eight of Pentacles, the worker bee card, as I like to call that, paired with the Lovers card. So the Eight of Pentacles. Now, Pentacles, the element is that of earth, and Pentacles is a suit that typically points towards things in our earthly, tangible environment, things that we can see and touch and feel. It points most often to things like money, finances, property, resource, jobs, career, that sort of thing. Very tangible, earthly things. And the Eight of Pentacles represents I call it the worker bee card because that's what this guy is doing, working very hard. This represents the kind of slow and methodical, but very successful building up of the foundation of something. You can see that there are seven pentacles dancing in the air above this man's head, and he is hard and diligently at work on the eighth one. You can see from looking outside his window that the sun is setting and the candles are already burning. Perhaps some of you have been burning the candles quite a lot. But he's still at his desk. He's still working very hard because he has a goal. He has a plan. He has a path that he's focused on, and he is slowly, methodically, thoughtfully, pentacle by pentacle, working on each one and putting them away, being very diligent and very hard at work at something. And again, the cards come out in the chronological order they're destined to come out in, and it's really telling a story. You're at this crossroads place. There's something you need to do, some decision that needs to be made, and it looks like you're Gemini, at least around the middle of this month, which is right around now. You're just, it feels like you're going back and forth on things, whether it's more than one person or more than one option to take for business and career, or however this is resonating for you. But there's something about it that just got your thoughts bouncing from one thing to the other, and you're not really sure which way to go. But it looks like this is something that I think for some of you, I mean, this can play out two different ways, this Eight of Pentacles with the Lovers. This can play out as either a relationship, again, that you have, and I'm feeling like this might be the larger portion of you. This could be a relationship issue or relationship situation that you've been in that's required a lot of work and effort, and you have been putting a lot of work and effort into it, and it's still leaving you in this place where you feel like you need to make a decision. But it's a very good union. It's a very solid union. It's something that you've put a lot of time, a lot of work, a lot of investment in it. So perhaps this decision, maybe this is, considering divorce or separation or something quite serious and profound like that. And the reason that you're kind of wavering and not really sure what to do is because the amount of time that's been invested in this relationship, the amount of work that's gone into it, and how solid and grounded it's been, which is the kind of union that the Lovers card represents. The Lovers represents a pretty solid, pretty good thing, a very passionate, very connective kind of union. I actually see this, the Two of Cups is considered the soulmate card, and it's a beautiful card to get in a relationship reading too. But it's a minor echo because it's a minor arcana card, and this is the Lovers, and this is a bit of a jump up. And I think this also card has a little more heat in it than the Two of Cups. It does represent a certain level of passion and intensity, but still with a very strong thread of the divine running through it, as you can see manifested by this golden light shining down through this couple. This card also can represent choices because in the early tarot decks, this card was not even referred to as the Lover's card. It was called the Choice, and it depicted a man standing in front of two women, or two women standing in front of a man, and it represented some kind of major choice that needed to be made. So again, it's going to resonate differently, Gemini, depending on which one of you is watching this. Could represent being at a place where you need to make a major decision about a relationship, whether to stay or whether to go. But there's been a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot has gone into this relationship to make it what it is, and you're just really kind of unsure as to what to do because you recognize that the impact of this decision is going to be pretty profound. For some of you, this is going to represent wanting to take a relationship to another level, or accepting the offer to take a relationship to another level, whether it's moving in together or getting married or joining two families together. And it's something that has the potential to be a really beautiful union, but it's going to require a lot of work and a lot of effort to put into it. And for those of you for whom this resonates as a more tangible pentacles kind of reading, like job, career, some kind of project or something, again, it can resonate the same way for you. Either it's something that you're considering walking away from or diverting from, and you're a little stuck because you've invested so much in it already, or it's an opportunity in front of you you're considering taking, but you're kind of wavering because of the amount of work and effort it's going to take, that you're going to need to invest in it. But either way, decision time. Now, at or towards the end of the month, we have the Devil reversed. I like seeing this card reversed. And the Two of Wands, another crossroads card, but also the card of expansion and doing pretty well for yourself as well. So the Devil card, another major arcana card. Now, in the upright position, the Devil card speaks of imbalance. It can speak of addiction as well, conventional addictions like drugs, alcohol, sex, gambling, that sort of thing. It can speak of obsessive, unhealthy relationships that have just too much intensity, too much clinginess, too much neediness, too many control issues. But really, the underlying theme of this card is balance. It's things being out of balance, too much attention and focus put into one thing, too much, just not enough balance, too much of something. And there's an imbalance here is basically what it speaks to. The scales are out of whack. But in the reverse, Gemini, it represents the opposite of that. It represents the slowing down or cessation of that, or the moving away from this imbalance of energy. And so I like to see that card in the reverse because it speaks of things coming to a more harmonious balance. It speaks of things integrating a little bit more. I'm just kind of getting a picture in my head of things kind of fitting in together and weaving in together quite well. Now, it's accompanied by the Two of Wands, which can be a card of expansion and growth if there's something, again, for some of you for whom you're moving things up to another level, regardless of what the content matter is. This represent making decisions on how to grow up, how to make it expand, because you're already doing pretty well. This can also mean being in a place where you feel like you have to go it alone, or one of the decisions you're making is to branch off from something or someone, and you're not sure which path to take. It can also represent just needing to make a choice. And again, that's a very strong theme in this reading, Gemini. You can see this man is standing at a crossroads and he's considering which path to take. And he's doing pretty well for himself. He's not dressed very raggedly. He's moving forward on the path. He just has reached a place where he needs to take one road versus the other. And he's trying to figure out, he's trying to find something that will prompt him more towards one than the other. Because from his vantage point, they both look fairly similar to each other. They're both going off in similar directions, and from where he's standing, he can't, of course, see where the destination is. So he's trying to figure out where he's at. Again, we have like the Seven of Cups energy, a little reflection and assessment. What exactly do I want? Which path is going to serve me better? The magician would know and would act on it immediately. So I think paired with the Devil in reverse, Gemini, whatever it is, this decision you make is going to represent the end of an unhealthy level of imbalance. Perhaps some of you for whom this resonates as a job reading or career or something, your decision to walk away or pursue a different path is going to represent perhaps an imbalance in your work. Perhaps with this Eight of Pentacles, worker bee energy, you've been just pouring way too much of yourself, burning the candles at both ends on this job or this project or whatever it is. And at the end of the month, you find yourself in a position where you're making a choice, you're making a decision, you're deciding on which path to take, and it's going to represent the ending of this. It's going to represent a more evening out, a more harmonious integration of these energies. And for those of you for whom this resonates as relationship readings, again, it's the same thing. This decision that you're making, this whatever road you choose, is going to represent again, a more evening out, things being more balanced, more peaceful, more harmonious, more integrated. And I just kind of got a thing in my head, so maybe somebody needs to hear this. I think perhaps for some of you for whom this resonates as a relationship that has had issues, and it feels like you've been working really hard on it. I feel like some of you have been actually in counseling or marital therapy of some kind. And there's a decision, there's a coming together towards the end. A decision's made to start down a different path, and it's going to represent the end of strife and contention and an imbalance in the relationship somehow, because we do have this beautiful Lovers card which speaks of that kind of union. Now, the cards you got is your overall theme and general feeling of the month. The crowning card is the Ten of Pentacles, and it's a great crowning card to get. It kind of lays over the whole reading. And the Ten of Pentacles speaks of success and abundance and prosperity and wealth. And again, for some of you, this is going to represent as actual tangible abundance and prosperity for if it's a job or career or some kind of financial, however it is you make your financial structure. And for others, again, it could just represent similar things, but in love. It speaks of success and abundance and prosperity sort of down the road as a step-by-step sort of process, like this Eight of Pentacles represents as well. But the Ten of Pentacles assures success at the end of the road. It speaks of the health and longevity of something looking kind of good, like the outlook looking very good, the prognosis looking very good, as a step-by-step kind of thing. And it also speaks of family foundations as well. It can speak of a family business, family money, family wealth, a family estate. However this might resonate for you, there's a very strong theme of family. And whatever this decision-making process is, be it job, career, relationship, love, marriage, children, there's a very strong element of it not only benefiting you or potentially not benefiting you. The Judgment card says judge carefully, but also of your family or the people in your closest circle that you really care and love. So, but overall, depending on what decision you make, a very good reading. And it looks like it's like this decision that you're going to make, Gemini, looks like it's going to be the right one, and it's really going to carry you through for quite a long time and be very successful and very abundant for both for you and your family and your loved ones. So Gemini, what a great reading. I'm very happy to bring it to you. It feels kind of intense though. A lot of the signs I've been doing for the mid-month readings, it feels like the last couple weeks of this month are pretty intense and significant. So, and you have been no different, pretty profound. I hope you've enjoyed this reading. I hope it's resonated with you, or at least given you a little bit of wisdom and insight and clarity on the path that lies ahead. And we'll see what happens when we meet again for the March 2016 general readings. And again, for those of you who are interested in a personal reading, you can click on the About sign on my channel to get a little more information, or email me at maggie1maguire@gmail.com. And until I see you again in a couple of weeks, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. Thanks for watching, Gemini. Talk to you later. Bye.